Wood clay?
What you want? Come on. What you want?
So for like the past week, I've been experimenting with clay, trying to come up with a new clay recipe, just something different that I hadn't seen anybody else do. And I really thought it would be cool if I could make a clay that's basically like wood, dried hard like wood, something that would take stain, nice, look like a good stained wood, that would sand easy, that type of thing. So anyway, I got this idea, and I thought it'd be real cool if I used sawdust to create a paper clay. So instead of using toilet paper as the base or the insulation as the base, getting rid of that and doing sawdust instead. So this week, if you've seen on Facebook, I posted a few things on there. I basically made 3 different batches. Just about have it worked out how I want it. But the first round of clay that I made was basically just joint compound, wood glue, and sawdust. Didn't measure anything out, just kind of threw it all together. And with that batch, we made this little pumpkin here. He's actually kind of neat. He's pretty hard. It did crack out here, but what happened, this stuff takes a lot longer to dry and cure than standard paper clay, like a lot longer. And originally I had aluminum foil in this. I hadn't planned on unstuffing it. Then after I made the face and all that good stuff, I decided I wanted to unstuff it. Trying to bring aluminum foil back out, once you got it crumpled down real tight, it's really a pain, real hard to do. It was actually still pretty wet on the bottom. I mean, I could pick this thing up and hold it just fine without having tackiness, but it was still spongy and wet. And I went ahead and cut the hole, and then as I was trying to pull the aluminum foil out, I got frustrated and I just ripped it all out while I caused a tear in this and a couple other tears. I glued it back together. I think I can sand it down, and when I paint it, you won't be able to see anything. Well, here's the thing. Made a little bunny just as a test deal, and I did several different shapes. Like this is just a little over quarter of an inch thick piece of just flat. Made this where it was bulky on the bottom and came out to a pretty thin top. I wanted to see how thin I could get it and how I could bulk it up. Another little horn thing I made turned out pretty good. Just a little snail type or snake type ring, and then a few balls, and just want to see how they dry out. This took quite a while to dry out. A couple days ago, I could squeeze this and really felt like I could break it. Now it's pretty cured. I don't know if I can break this now or not. And I suppose if I took a pair of pliers to this, I could squeeze it down. Hard enough for it to break, but it's pretty solid. But it took like 6 days almost for this thing to cure completely out. And when it was still soft and spongy on the inside, I could have squeezed it and made it come apart. The smaller ones dried up a little bit sooner. This is pretty good. I can break. We've got this pretty thin down here, but I can, well, could the other day. Maybe not. Oh, yeah. So it took quite a bit of effort, and I got it to break. It's pretty solid on the inside, so I really think it'd hold up pretty decent. This stuff's pretty cool because it's really, once this dries out, it looks like, cork board or like cork, but it really resembles more of a, not plywood, but particle board. But it is, even this piece here, it's 1/4 of an inch. I've been saving this to do this. It does break, but it's pretty solid. It takes quite a bit of pressure to break that, so I'm pretty happy with this. I also think that this will sand down real nice. Like with this little pumpkin here, I'm going to sand this guy down. I usually don't do that to any of my projects, but this one I'm going to sand down nice and smooth, and then I'm going to put a stain on this and see how it takes a stain. The second batch I made was a small batch, this little guy here. This was just straight wood glue and sawdust. Nothing else. Wood glue and sawdust. He's either still not cured or it's just always going to be spongy, because on the bottom I can squeeze him in still and I can put little indentions in him. And this may just be as good as it's going to get. I really wasn't happy with this. Really dried a lot darker. I don't like the end result in it, so just the wood glue and sawdust was not the way to go. But this guy, so this was on my third batch. I still haven't unstuffed him yet. He's been setting for about 2 days, and he's really pretty solid. And here in a minute I'm going to go ahead and cut the bottom open and film it, and we're going to see how it works. But this one, this batch of clay was joint compound, wood glue, the sawdust, and then I used some boiled linseed oil. And I think the boiled linseed oil really helped this thing dry out quite a bit. So I'll make another batch of this. I'm going to back off the sawdust because this one I measured out. So I'll back off the sawdust a little bit and we'll see how that works. But anyway, real quick, let's go ahead and cut the bottom of this thing open, see if we can get the stuffing out of the outside, and see if I can do it without cracking out the bottom like I did with that little one. Stuff fairly decent, wasn't too bad. You can see in this inside layer here, this is still pretty wet and hasn't cured out. So this stuff really takes a long time to dry. Generally, with my standard paper clay, after 3 days of being under a fan and everything else, when I cut them open, they're dry all the way through. This takes longer. And it is pretty stout. And I know I just did that with a knife, but if this was all dry all the way through, I really think I would have needed to use my Dremel to get this cut open, and a Dremel would have worked a lot better even right now to cut this open than using my knife. So it is a little bit harder than the standard clay. It does take longer to dry, and it's a different texture when you're using it. It applies almost the same way. Some of the kind of downsides to it, you can't really spread it and smooth it with the end of a spoon like I normally do with paper clay. You can't, spread it like a butter knife or get it to move. You get it to move with your hands and stuff, but it just doesn't move the same. So it's like learning to sculpt all over again. It did take some detail pretty decently. It's hard to see, especially with the texture of this and the color. But by the time I paint this up, I did put a little bit of detailing into these little vines here. That should pick up really good with a dry brush over the top of this. But the thing is, some of the pros on this doesn't shrink much. I mean, pretty much this small incision line in here for the mouth and where I put these little pieces in and here look almost exactly the same as they did when I did it while it was wet. Generally with paper clay, when you put this stuff in and it dries and it shrinks, so any lines you have, they open up, they become wider, they become bigger, distorts a little bit, and it changes on you. This really, really does not shrink that much. So I like that. Also, when you're carving out the eyes, because a lot of my pumpkins, when I do them, I put them on the base, put the clay up, then I carve the eyes out, carve the mouth out, and then I'll add details over. When you're using your paper clay, a lot of the times when you're cutting through that and you're trying to dig that out, you'll have a piece of toilet paper or a piece of other paper that's up in there. When you're pulling it, it'll pull out and it kind of messes up your lines, what you do, and you got to go back in and kind of resculpt that out. When you're cutting through this stuff, it's almost like I get cutting through sand, because you can get all the way down through, get a nice line, and basically just come back in and scrape it all out, and it just scrapes out nice and easy. I mean, these lines, you know, you can see there's some edges on here. I didn't spend a whole lot of time really trying to make these lines clean. I just cut through them, scraped them out, want to see how it would react. These teeth, same way, but I'm going to be able to come in here with a small file or sandpaper and clean all these edges out, and they're going to clean out nice, and it's going to look good. We're going to be able to really expose the detail that's in the mouth. This one I made a little spider on top of. I did go ahead and use some toothpicks for the sticks. I figured since we were dealing with wood and wood glue that would work really well, and they really have. They're anchored on there nice and tight. Yeah, if you hit this, you could bust this thing off, but just like anything, if you excessive force, you can knock it off. But I do like it. It's different. It's almost like relearning how to do paper mache again. I don't even know if we can really call this paper mache, because it's not really paper. It's wood or sawdust. When these things cure out, they become really hard. So the next thing, we'll need to find out, you know, if it's worth the time. Making it makes the same amount of time. There's a little bit of a learning curve on it, on sculpting with it and using it. But if this holds up stronger and better than the paper clay, I'm going to use a lot more of this. And this also is not, this was paper clay, this would be quite a bit heavier than what this one is. This one feels a bit lighter than these other little pumpkins that I've made in the past. So that's a plus. I also feel like with this porous texture that's on here, that like if I'm going to stain this, I'll stain it first and then seal it. But if I was going to paint this with my other projects, once they're raw like this, I spray a spar urethane on them as a sealer at first. And I let that sink in, I let that dry, then I prime it, and then I go ahead and paint it, and then I seal it again. I got a pumpkin still sitting out on the porch. I'll make a video about him probably sometime this week. He's been on the porch since October, and he's paper mache. I sealed him just like what I talked about. He still looks great. It's been frigid, it's been cold, he's been rained on, he's been snowed on, and he looks just as good as he did the day I set him out. So, but I think with this, when you sprayed that spar urethane on here, I really think that wood would really soak this stuff up better, and I may be wrong, but I think better than the paper does. And I think we could get a real good water resistant material here. So I'm going to take this guy later on this week. I'm going to sand him down. We're going to see how it takes stain. We'll see how it turns out. I'll make a video on it. We'll see how well it takes the stain, that type of stuff. We'll go ahead and take this other one here, and once he cures out completely, I'll go ahead and seal him, paint him up, and we'll show you the end results on that one too. And then I may just throw these guys outside, and we'll see how they hold up to the weather compared to the rest of the stuff. See how that goes. And then the other cool thing is too, if you're like me and you like the smell of wood, or a wood shop where things are being built, this stuff smells like fresh cut wood. That's another bonus to it. It smells like fresh cut wood. I really like that. But it's different, and we'll see how it pans out. So we'll make another batch. If it really becomes pliable where I really like it and it's easier to work with, we'll do a video, and I'll do specific amounts, give you a real recipe so you can make this stuff yourself, play with it yourself, and see whether or not you like it. You may like it, you might not. Is it better than the standard paper clay? I don't know. I mean, the results are close to the same. The biggest benefit I think on these is being able to stain them and make something kind of really, I don't know, nicer, upscale little trinket. But it was just different, and I'm looking to do something different. The same old stuff over and over again gets boring. You get tired of the same old stuff. So I wanted to find something different. I wanted to try a different, try and make a different type of clay recipe. I wanted to make something that even the stuff I have out there, even that pumpkin that's been out there since October, he looks great. Don't get me wrong, he's been out there this whole time. It's now January, he still looks great. But they do wick a little bit of moisture. They do kind of get soft here and there in small spots. And they dry out, and it's good to go. That big dragon, he's took on some moisture, and his jaw dropped just a little bit. I want to be able to create something that you can make at home, and when you're done and you put it out, it doesn't wick any moisture and will withstand all types of weather. So that's really what I'm looking to do. Something like that. You can make it home, basically cheap. Doesn't cost you a lot of money. And this is the first steps. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if it's worthwhile. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll answer them as soon as I can. If you like this stuff, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. A lot of other stuff on this channel to go check out. A lot of other tutorials and different projects I've done. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you again later on this week when I put some stain on these things, painted them, sanded them down, and we'll see an end result and see if it's really worth the time.
What you want?